Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. Leo, how are you? I hope you are well. Leo, we are here with the tea leaf oracles. We're going to look at these first for the overall energy for the week ahead, and then we are going to be looking at tarot, of course. At the end of this video, I will be telling you about how to get your private read discount, or how to get to the extended if you're interested. Welcome, Leo. Thank you so much for showing up here. I appreciate you. I hope you're well. And if you've never been here before, I hope you'll stay. Welcome, welcome. If you've come back, thank you so much for coming back. A thumbs up is always helpful if you'd like to do that. Let's find out what's going on for you, Leo, in the week ahead. Now, that being said, the week ahead, we should talk a little bit about Mercury, because Mercury's in your sign already, but it will be going into retrograde on the 18th. So we're already in the shadow phase. Now, it might cause fragile egos. I'm just going to say, if you're dealing with people with fragile egos, or if you have a fragile ego, there could be issues that are coming up. This might scramble your romantic signals. There might be breakups. There could be drama. And exes may be resurfacing, or maybe you're the ex that's going to resurface. I don't know. But so be careful with believing in big, grand displays of affection, I would say, at this time. Conflict resolution is going to be a challenge. Let's find out what is going on for you, Leo. All right. We've got, take one of these and we'll put one back. Let's look at the bottom of the deck first. Oh, the sun, look, it's you. Happiness and well-being. Okay, so it looks like the sun is shining on something, bringing in some positive energy. It says here, the rooster says, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Be aware of that. The cane says, pay attention to your health. We've got the eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. And I feel like June is a month where possibly you've been feeling this sun energy, because it says an arrogant or boastful person. You may already know who I'm talking about because the sun is here, and it feels like the cane says pay attention to your health. I think it's your mental health. I'm just going to say the rainbow is here. It says the most difficult part of the situation is over. Okay, so it does feel like there is something you've already realized or recognized, because June is here. I feel like you realized it or recognized it last month, and it feels like that you will have triumph over whatever the troubles are. But it does feel like you've recognized there is somebody in your life who is not necessarily good for your life, I'm going to say. The most difficult part of a situation is over. The rainbow is here. Let's look at some tarot, see what else is going on. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. What else do we need to know about Leo? So the sun is here, and so you're going to be able to see everything as you need to see it in order to make good decisions in the week ahead. Tell me more about Leo. Tell me about Leo. We've got the Queen of Swords. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. And we've got the Eight of Swords. We've got the King of Cups. We've got the Fool. And we've got the Emperor. The King of Swords is on the bottom of the deck. So it does feel like there is somebody here who says both that they are boastful and arrogant. And it does feel like you could be dealing with an emperor. This could be your boss. This could be your dad, your mom. It could be a grandfather, an older brother or sister. It feels like it is somebody who you are attached to in terms of the King of Cups energy. I feel like there is going to be an honest conversation that is going to happen between you and someone here who you have a hard time getting along with. Someone who you see as arrogant or boastful. It feels like, it says pay attention to your health, but I feel like it's mental health, because we do have the Emperor here and someone who's boastful or arrogant. It feels like you should probably be aware of your mental health and your spiritual or your emotional health. I feel like this person here is the person that we're talking about who is arrogant or boastful. It feels like there's a decision here that you've been trying to make. This Eight of Swords is you being in your head overthinking something. The King of Swords is here, but you're about to make a decision on this, and it is going to be a difficult decision, and it's going to change everything for you, Leo. But you've come to a place where you can no longer keep it under the surface. I feel like it's time to put up a boundary and be honest and truthful. Whatever it is they're about to say that is honest and truthful, I feel, is something you're going to say in the kindest way possible. But I feel like this person here, the Emperor, is not going to be happy with your decision, is what it feels like here. But the sun is here, and this is a time of growth. It's a time of growth and happiness and well-being. So I feel like whatever you're doing in divine timing, because it's destiny that things change, that things all break apart here to bring you to some sort of new chapter that you've been overthinking. So it feels like there is a new chapter here that, you know, the Wheel of Fortune is here. It's destiny. You can't fight the Wheel of Fortune. It's taking you the place that you need to be. You're right where you should be right now, but it's all about change. And so when the change shows up, I feel like you've been holding back, trying to make a decision about a new chapter. There is somebody here who's not going to be happy with you. Tell me about this Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. There's something here you need to say that's honest and truthful. You need to give it as it is, but I think you're going to try and make it sound as kind and sweet as you can. But I feel like the truth must prevail. The truth must be told. And in order to bring your life back into balance. So it's not necessarily going to be balanced for everybody, but I feel like it's going to be healing for you to be honest about this with the Emperor, with your boss, with your dad, with whoever this person is. We do have the Ace of Cups. And so it does feel like you are going to, whatever honest and truthfulness that you speak, because I feel like it's going to liberate you. I feel like however you speak it, you're going to speak it in the kindest and sweetest way you know how, but very honest and truthful. So it looks like, look, I love you, but you're being a jerk. And I don't agree with the way that you're running the empire. Like it could be that. Like you're my friend. Maybe your friend is your dad. Maybe the person who you work for is your dad. Maybe it's a family business. But it feels like there is somebody here who is of authority. They're an authority figure. They're also somebody who has a lot of stability, security, a lot of money, a lot of wealth. They run an empire. Could be franchised businesses. Do you know what I mean? But it feels like you are going to stand up whether your knees shake or not, because the Page is here. It almost makes me feel like this is the father, you are the son, or vice versa. Somebody might be standing up to you. We've got the Four of Swords. We've got the Sun. And we've got the Ace of Swords. Yeah, I feel like the Eight of Swords is telling me that you were... this was a place of mental prison for you, that you knew that if you brought this up, it was going to cause a breakaway. And it feels like, yes, I am seeing a breakaway, like hockey in my head as I'm saying that. It's going to cause you to break away. And so the Eight of Swords, I feel, is a place where you were trying to come up with the best solution or heal the self before you said anything. But when the sun shows up and there's a breakthrough, the truth of the matter has to prevail. And so there is no easy way to say it. I'm just going to say it, but I'm going to do it in the kindest way that I know how. So the sun is here. The Ace of Swords is here. It's like we've got to talk about this contract. I want to say be careful because I feel like this whole conversation could spiral out of control. The Four and the Ace are here. That's 5 swords. And we do have the spiraling thoughts here. So it feels like it could all spiral out of control when everything comes to light, when the truth is said. When I'm being very honest, it feels like it could cause a lot of tension. I think that the worst part or the most difficult part of the situation is over, because I feel like it's when you finally say something that the worst part is over, because I feel like the worst part was you holding it in. Tell me what the changes are that are taking place here, because we do have you're going to be honest about what changes are about to happen here. Tell me what's going on here. We've got the Death card. So you might be leaving the place of employment, and I have a feeling that somebody you know, somebody you've known for a long time, maybe it's a family member, that they own the business. I feel like you're telling them you're going out on your own, or you're about to take some sort of a risk. I feel like you're going to try and soften the blow the best that you know how, but I think that your intuition has been telling you to go for quite some time. But I feel like you've been putting it off because you know that the reaction from this person isn't going to be very good, that you're picking your own path. But look, the Wheel of Fortune is sitting here with the Fool. It tells me whatever you're about to do, whatever big change you're about to make is destined. And so everything's about to expand. So is your life if you decide to walk through the door. If you can finally stand up to the Emperor and say, it's time for me to go out on my own, to walk through the door. I feel like the worst part is over because you've been thinking about this since June, is what it feels like. You've been trying to figure out what to say or how to say it. When the sun's here, the writing is on the wall. The breakthrough is here, and now I see it all for what it is. There's no way I'm going back from here. I've got to say what I've got to say. But I feel like with the 8 swords and the 1 that you've been worried about it, the 4 and the 5, the 4 and the 1 is 5, that you're now seeing clearly that when you say something, that this is going to end up in us not coming to the same conclusion, and it's going to be an argument or a fight. Usually the 5 of swords is, I don't believe your path, you don't believe mine, and we cannot agree to disagree from here. We've just got to go. I've got to go. I can't discuss this with you any longer. Tell me about this. We have the Knight of Pentacles. There is another opportunity that's in the future for you, but I feel like if you don't take it now, it's not going to be available forever. The 3 of Wands in the reverse for me is I've got to take it now. There's no more time to wait. There's no more time to wait for my ships to come in. I've got to actually take action. Now is the time, according to your calculations. And I feel like this Knight of Pentacles tells me you've been very careful, very analytical, that you've taken this step by step, and you've got to make your decision to go now. Now is the time. But there is this I would say either a codependent connection, or there's this attachment to the Emperor that I feel that you have to break. And that's the hardest part, because I feel like this person has been a mentor, or you've learned everything that you need to learn in order to move forward. In order for you to move forward with this Wheel of Fortune here, I feel like you were mentored, or somebody took you under their wing or something like that. But now it's time for you to break away and do your own thing. Tell me how the Emperor is going to feel about this. Tell me about how the Emperor is going to feel about your truth, because you're just going to be honest. And we've got the King of Swords back. We've got the 6 of Swords. And we've got the King of Wands. I'm going to say this, Leo. Don't be surprised if the Emperor says, fine, go. I never needed you here. I don't care. Go. Because the King of Swords is aloof and detached. And that's the way the King of Swords deals with stuff that goes down that's hard to deal with. They don't deal with it in an emotional way. They deal with it in a logical way. That's fine. Leave me your keys. Make sure that you train the guy that I'm bringing in, and that's all I'm going to require for you, and then you can go. Even if this person is related to you, I feel like this person's going to be very aloof and attached. We've got all of the swords here, and I feel like the 6 and the 1 sword is 7. This person feels like you have betrayed them. They feel like you've been holding back secrets, but I also feel like they're holding under the surface how they really feel, because this person deals with people on a very aloof and detached way. I think that they're going to deal with you in a very aloof and detached way. Where you're going in the future is the 9 of Cups, but it is taking a tower to get you there. So the tower shows up here, and I feel like this tower is, is good news for you, because now that your structures, now that you've spoken your truth with the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords is here, the structures are all breaking down. Once the truth comes out, then there's nothing left to do but break everything down, everything down. Like the illusion you built where you thought you should be and where you thought you wanted to be, it's time for everything to break down. But listen, the reason it's breaking down is for your 9 of Cups to show up. I feel like when the tower falls to the ground, you realize that you could be far happier in a different situation. I feel like it's quite exciting for you, and that there is something really exciting that is showing up. It is a new path for you here that's very exciting. The 6 of Wands in the reverse tells me that it's been a real struggle for you to say what you needed to say to the Emperor. It's been a real struggle to end this chapter, because the 6 of Wands is about coming from the fight, coming from the war, and I feel like it's been a hard cycle that you've been in, however long it's been. It could be years and years, but it feels like you just didn't want to say anything because you didn't want to attract attention, but you knew that you needed to build something on your own. So I feel like you're probably going to build a business, or you've got a, maybe you're not getting as much pay as you want, and I think that the Emperor is probably not very flexible because the King of Swords is here. This person's not willing to pay you more, not willing to give you more, and I feel like you're getting a better deal somewhere else, or you're starting your own business. It does feel like you're starting your own business. We're going to go into the extended and we're going to take a look at this just a little bit closer because I want to find out who this is. Is this a father? Is this a boss? What's going on here? What is this new opportunity? Because it feels like you've been looking over this opportunity for a really long time. We'll find out what the opportunity is and why this tower is here. I feel like it took a tower for you to break down this devil energy, break this connection, break this attachment, break this, like this person had a hold over you. It's almost like maybe they hold your mortgage, or maybe it's like they were a big player in your life here. I feel like once you do get away, it's very exciting, but we'll talk about what this new thing is here. I think it might be a business, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. And what is this Wheel of Fortune going to bring for you as everything is changing? Because look, the Death card is here. Everything is changing and everything is transforming. And I feel like it's all unstable. Everything is destabilized, but you're going to have to deal with this person who has a super big ego. We're going to see what the Emperor is going to have to say when you tell them that you're going, because you definitely are going. I'm going to go to the extended. If you'd like to be there and watch the extended, please look in the pinned comment. That's where all the information is that you need. The pinned comment will tell you how to get to the extended. There'll be a link there. It'll tell you how to get to Hypsee. Right now there's a lot of sales going on. 10% off the pre-recorded readings, from between 5 and 75% off of the live readings, video, text, or phone call, and you can pre-record those, and if you pre-record them, that's where you get the discount. Yes, you get a discount with the pre-records, but if you pre-book the live readings, you will get an automatic discount. So take a look over there at my pricing, at the times when I'll be online. I do have a schedule there. I'm going to be online tomorrow evening if you're interested in that. I'm going to go there now. If you would like to come to the extended, I'm going to be there. And if you're not, that's cool, because I'll be back, because I'm always back, Leo. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out. Bye-bye.